I never thought a single slap could unravel everything I'd built. My empire, my secrets, my heart. The crack of his palm against my cheek echoed through the boutique like a gunshot, freezing the air, the shoppers, the world. "Faggot," he snarled, his face twisted in rage, oblivious that the man he'd just struck owned every thread in his store, every stitch of his so-called empire. My name is Christian Hale, and that afternoon in the heart of Soho, New York City, I wasn't the billionaire CEO of Hale Couture. I was just a guy in jeans and a simple white tee, browsing racks for a gift, trying to feel normal for once. The manager, some mid-level prick named Victor Lang with a comb-over and a chip on his shoulder, had caught me lingering too long near the display of silk scarves, my fingers tracing the fabric like it was a lover's skin. Maybe it was the way I smiled at the salesman, a young kid with kind eyes who blushed when I complimented his tie. Or maybe Victor just smelled vulnerability, the kind he preyed on in a city that chews up dreamers and spits out husks. "You think you can prance in here like you own the place?" Victor's voice had risen, drawing stares from the few high-end clients milling about. I could have ended it right there, flashed my black Amex, dropped the Hale name like a bomb. But I didn't. I never do. Anonymity is my armor, the one thing keeping the vultures at bay. So I just stood there, cheeks stinging, blood roaring in my ears, as he loomed over me, all 5'8" of insecure bluster. The salesman, Gabriel, his name tag read, stepped forward, his voice steady but his hands trembling. "Mr. Lang, that's enough." He was just looking. Gabriel's eyes met mine for a split second, a flicker of something raw, protective. Dark hair tousled just so, olive skin glowing under the boutique's soft lights, and those hazel eyes that seemed to see right through the bullshit. In that moment, amid the humiliation, I felt seen. Truly seen. It was the spark that would ignite everything. But sparks start fires, and mine was about to burn down the walls I'd spent years erecting. I left the store without a word, the bell above the door chiming like a mocking laugh. My driver, Marcus, was idling curbside in the black Escalade, but I waved him off. I needed to walk, to let the autumn chill numb the welt rising on my face. Soho streets buzzed with the usual chaos, tourists snapping selfies outside cast-iron buildings, baristas hawking overpriced lattes, the distant wail of sirens that never quite fade in this city. New York doesn't care about your wounds. It just keeps pulsing, indifferent, and alive. By the time I reached my penthouse on the Upper West Side, the adrenaline had crashed, leaving a hollow ache. I poured a scotch neat enough to burn away the memory of Victor's sneer. But it didn't. Instead, my mind replayed Gabriel's intervention, the way his shoulders squared like he was ready to take the hit for me. Who does that for a stranger? In a place like Hale Couture's flagship store? No, wait, it wasn't Hale's. Not directly. Victor managed a subsidiary boutique under the umbrella of Luxe Threads, one of the brands I'd acquired last year to expand into accessible menswear. Irony at its finest, my own employees slapping me senseless. I sank into the leather armchair by the floor-to-ceiling windows, the city sprawl glittering like a promise unkept. At 34, I'd clawed my way from a trailer park in rural Ohio to the pinnacle of American fashion. Hale Couture wasn't just clothes. It was armor for the invisible. Queer kids finding their first fitted jacket that made them feel unbreakable. Executives hiding their true selves behind bespoke suits. But success came with ghosts. My parents' rejection when I came out at 16, the parade of lovers who saw dollar signs before they saw me, the endless boardroom battles where being gay was the unspoken asterisk next to my name. That night, I couldn't sleep. The slap wasn't just physical. It cracked open old fissures. By dawn, I'd made the call. Not to HR, too messy, too public. No, I wanted answers. I wanted to know who Gabriel was, why he'd risked his job for me. A quick email to my assistant, Elena, and within hours, I had a dossier. Gabriel Ruiz, 28, recent transplant from Queens, single, no priors, glowing reviews from his barista gig before this. And a photo. God, that photo. Him laughing at some rooftop party, wind tousling his hair, eyes crinkled with genuine joy. My chest tightened. I shouldn't have looked twice. But I did. 2 days later, I returned to the boutique. Not as Christian Hale, but as Chris, the nobody who'd been slapped. The welt had faded to a faint bruise, hidden under concealer. Victor was behind the counter, schmoozing a pair of influencers, his laugh forced and oily. He didn't notice me at first. I drifted to the scarves again, heart pounding like a kid shoplifting candy. "Can I help you find something?" A voice, soft but sure. Gabriel. Up close, he was even more disarming. Faint stubble shadowing his jaw, a subtle cologne that smelled like cedar and rain. "Just browsing," I said, forcing a casual smile. "Thanks for, the other day." He glanced at my cheek, then away, cheeks flushing. "No one deserves that. Victor's got issues. Deeper than this store, I think." We talked, not about the slap, but about the scarves, how the silk evoked Italian summers he'd never seen, how he'd always wanted to travel, but bills kept him chained to the grind. Gabriel was studying graphic design online, nights after closing shifts, dreaming of illustrating album covers for indie bands. "Art's my escape," he said, fingers brushing mine as he handed me a scarf. Electricity. Undeniable. I bought it, of course, and as he rang me up, our hands lingered on the counter. "Coffee sometime." The words tumbled out before I could stop them. Reckless. Dangerous. His smile was tentative, hopeful. "Yeah, I'd like that." That coffee turned into dinners, stolen walks along the Hudson at dusk, where the river mirrored the skyline like a lover's reflection. Gabriel was a revelation, fiercely loyal, quick with sarcasm that cut through my defenses, and tender in ways that made my guarded heart ache. He didn't know who I was, and for the first time in years, neither did I. With him, I was just Chris, the guy who burned toast and binge-watched old rom-coms, not the mogul who graced Vogue covers. But secrets fester. Mine was a ticking bomb. We'd been seeing each other for a month when the first crack appeared. It was a Friday night, post-dinner at this hole-in-the-wall taqueria in the village, tacos al pastor that dripped with spice and possibility. We were back at my place, or what I called my crash pad to keep up the facade, a modest one-bedroom I'd rented under a fake name, far from the penthouse. Gabriel sprawled on the couch, feet in my lap, scrolling through his phone. "Check this out," he said, tilting the screen. It was a style article, Hale Couture's bold expansion, Christian Hale's vision for inclusive fashion. A photo of me at the Met Gala, arm linked with a model, looking every bit the untouchable icon. Gabriel whistled. "This guy's got it all. Empire builder. But look at this quote. Fashion should armor the soul, not cage it." Deep, right? Wish I could design for someone like him. My throat went dry. "Yeah, sounds intense." He set the phone down, eyes searching mine. "You okay?" You tensed up. "Just tired." Lie. The first of many that night. But as he pulled me close, lips brushing my temple, I pushed it down. For him. For us. The real fracture came weeks later, at a company gala I couldn't avoid. Hale Couture's annual fundraiser for LGBTQ plus youth shelters. Ironic, hosting it while hiding from the one person who made me feel alive. I told Gabriel I had a work thing, some vague freelance gig. He bought it, kissed me goodbye with that easy trust that twisted the knife. The ballroom at the plaza was a sea of sequins and schmoozers. I navigated it in a custom tux, nodding at investors, flashing the Hale charm. Victor was there, schmoozing his Lux Threads rep, his comb-over slicked back. He spotted me across the room, paled, then approached with a forced grin. "Mr. Hale, sir. Pleasure to see you." His voice dripped servility, eyes darting like he expected reprisal. I kept it cool. "Lang. Heard good things about your store." He swallowed hard. "About that incident. The customer. Water under the bridge. Not entirely true, but mercy was my play. For now." Then I saw him. Gabriel, entering on the arm of. No, not arm. Trailing behind a group, but there, in a borrowed suit that hugged his frame perfectly, looking wide-eyed at the opulence. My stomach dropped. What the hell? I cornered Elena later. "How?" She shrugged. "He won a staff raffle for a +1. Thought it was harmless." Harmless. Right. I watched from afar as Gabriel mingled awkwardly, charming a cluster of designers with his quick wit. Victor sidled up to him, clapping his shoulder too hard. "Ruiz, didn't know you had tickets to the big leagues." Gabriel laughed it off, but I saw the unease. And when our eyes finally met across the room, his widening in shock. mine pleading for understanding. The world tilted. He approached slowly, like I was a mirage. Chris? You're Christian Hale. The name hung between us, heavy as lead. Gabriel, I can explain. Explain? His voice cracked, drawing glances. You've been lying to me. This whole time. The crash pad, the freelance bullshit. Was I just, what? A distraction from the real world? No. God, no. I pulled him into a alcove, voices murmuring around us. I was scared. After the slap, I wanted to fire Victor on the spot, but seeing you, it made me want to be real. With you, I could be. He searched my face, hurt etching lines around his eyes. Real? You own the store where he called you a slur, and you let him keep his job? For what optics? It's complicated. The empire. Fuck your empire. The words sliced deep, and he stormed out, leaving me amid the champagne flutes and fake smiles. That night, alone in the penthouse, the city lights mocked me. I'd built walls to protect my heart, but Gabriel had slipped through, and now I'd shattered him. Calls went unanswered, texts unread. Desperation clawed in. By morning, I was at his door in Queens, a walk-up with peeling paint and dreams stacked in milk crates. He opened it, disheveled, eyes red-rimmed. Go away, Christian. Please, just hear me out. I stepped inside uninvited, the tiny apartment smelling of coffee and charcoal sketches. I hid because every relationship I've had ends when they learn the truth. They want the lifestyle, not the man. But you saw me before the money. He sank onto the bed, head in hands. And I fell for a lie. Do you know how it feels? To stand up for some guy, only to find out he's the boss playing pretend. Guilt choked me. I fired Victor this morning. Quietly, with a severance to keep his mouth shut. But that's not the point. The point is you. Us. Us. He laughed bitterly. There is no us. You decided that when you lied. The door slammed behind me as I left, the echo louder than the slap. Days blurred into a haze of meetings and martinis, the empire grinding on while I fractured. Elena tried interventions. He's worth the risk, boss. But I was too stubborn, too scarred. Then the betrayal hit, sharp and unforeseen. A tabloid leak. Hale airs secret slap scandal. CEO assaulted in own store. Photos of my bruised cheek surfaced. Someone had snapped them that day. Victor. The severance hadn't bought silence. It had bought spite. And worse, a grainy shot of Gabriel and me at the taqueria, captioned mystery beau or boardroom ploy. My phone exploded. Board members demanding explanations. Investors pulling back. Queer activists hailing me as a martyr while conservatives decried woke fashion's downfall. But the real gut punch was Gabriel's voicemail, voice trembling. Saw the article. If this is your way of dragging me into your mess, we're done. For good. I raced to Queens again, pounding on his door until a neighbor threatened to call the cops. When he finally opened it, fury blazed in his eyes. You leaked it? To save face. No. Victor. I don't care. He shoved a sketchbook at me. Pages filled with designs inspired by our walks, scarves woven with Hudson sunsets, suits that whispered vulnerability. This was for you. The real you. But it was all fake. Tears stung. It wasn't. I love. Don't. He slammed the door, but not before I glimpsed the pain mirroring mine. The climax crashed like a wave 2 nights later, at the emergency board meeting I'd called to salvage the chaos. The conference room atop Hale Tower reeked of tension, suits pacing, laptops glowing with plummeting stock tickers. Victor had lawyered up, claiming wrongful termination, spinning the slap as standing up to a disruptive patron. The betrayal stung deeper. He'd emailed the board, outing my personal indiscretions, with Gabriel as leverage. You're playing with fire, Hale, my CFO sneered. This queer martyr act? It's tanking us. Resign, or we vote you out. Resign. The word echoed my father's dying rasp, his last words before cancer took him. Don't throw it away for that. I'd built this for kids like me, invisible and fierce. For Gabriel's dreams, sketched in stolen moments. No. My voice was steel. This empire stands for something. If it crumbles because I won't hide who I am, then let it. The vote was 6-5 against me. Ousted. Just like that. I left the tower in the rain, soaked and unmoored, the city blurring through tears. Where now? Back to Ohio, tail between legs? Fate, cruel joker, intervened. At a dive bar in Hell's Kitchen, neon flickering, open, like a dare, I nursed a beer when the door swung wide. Gabriel, drenched, eyes wild. I quit. Walked out on Victor's bullshit deposition. Saw the board leak. If you're really done. I'm done. The words freed something. Lost it all. He crossed the room in 3 strides, pulling me into a hug that drowned the storm. Not all. Not me. We talked till closing, raw, ugly truths spilling like the rain outside. My fears of abandonment, his of being just another notch in a billionaire's bed. The slap? A catalyst for Victor's venom, but also for my reckoning. I should have told you day one, I admitted. Should-haves are shit, he said, lacing fingers with mine. But love? That's the rebuild. We didn't fix the empire overnight. Headlines screamed, Hale's fall, but queer voices rallied. Petitions, viral sketches from Gabriel's anonymous account, designs that captured our story without naming it. Investors trickled back, drawn to the authenticity. I relaunched smaller, truer. Hale Heart, focused on community, with Gabriel as creative lead. Months later, on that rooftop garden at dusk, Manhattan's hum below us, I dropped to one knee. Not with a ring, too flashy, but with a scarf, the one from our first real talk, embroidered with our initials in thread as fine as hope. Marry me? Not the empire. Me. His yes was a whisper, then a laugh, then a kiss that tasted like redemption. The city didn't applaud, it just kept beating, indifferent. But in that moment, with his hand in mine, I owned something real, something unbreakable. We built from the ashes, not a fashion empire, but a life. Victor faded into obscurity, soothed into silence. The slap? A scar, faint now, a reminder that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the seam holding us together. In America, where dreams die hard and love fights dirtier, we chose each other. And that, finally, was the true couture. The morning after the proposal, sunlight filtered through the penthouse blinds like hesitant fingers, tracing patterns on Gabriel's sleeping form. I watched him, chest rising steady, a faint smile lingering from dreams I hoped included me. Last night had been a whirlwind, celebratory takeout from that taqueria, laughter echoing off marble counters, bodies entwined not in passion but in quiet affirmation. We'd talked until the city lights dimmed, mapping a future beyond boardrooms and betrayals. But dawn brought reality. My phone buzzed incessantly on the nightstand, Elena's name flashing like a warning. I silenced it, slipping from bed to avoid waking him. Coffee brewed strong, black as my mood. The board's ousting lingered like a hangover. Hale Heart was a gamble, funded by my personal reserves, no safety net. And Victor? His lawsuit loomed, a vulture circling our fragile peace. Gabriel stirred as I returned, hair a glorious mess. Trouble? Always. I handed him a mug, our fingers brushing in that now-familiar spark. Legal crap. Victor's pushing for defamation, claiming I framed him. He sat up, sheets pooling at his waist, expression hardening. Fight it. He started this. I will. But it's draining. I sank beside him, the weight settling. What if Hale Heart flops? I can't drag you down with me. He set the mug down, turning my chin to meet his gaze. Drag? We're in this, Christian. Your fall was my wake-up. That sketchbook? I burned half of it after the leak, too tied to the lies. The rest? It's fuel for us. His words pierced, a bomb and a blade. Gabriel's art had always been his soul's language, lines that curved like unspoken desires, colors bleeding emotion. Since the gala, he'd poured it into Hale Heart concepts. Jackets with hidden pockets for safe houses kids to stash notes, shirts embroidered with affirmations in braille for the unseen. Armor the soul, he'd say, echoing my old interview quote, twisting it into something shared. We spent the day sketching in the sunroom, my unused office now a canvas chaos of fabric swatches and markers. Laughter bubbled as he mocked my stick figure models, but beneath it, tension simmered. A call from my lawyer confirmed Victor's deposition. He'd subpoena Gabriel as a witness, dragging our private hell into public court. That evening, over pasta at a quiet bistro in Tribeca, candlelight dancing on Chianti glasses, we broached the storm. He'll twist it, I said, fork paused midair. Make you the gold digger, me the predatory boss. Gabriel's jaw tightened, fork clinking plate. Let him. Truth's our weapon. Remember that night in Queens? When you showed up raw, no Empire shield. That's what I fell for. Fell for. Past tense. But his hand over mine screamed present. Still doubt not. My history whispered failures. The ex who sold our story to page 6. The mentor who outed me for a promotion. What if this breaks us? The media circus, the whispers at events. Then we rebuild. His voice was fierce, eyes locking mine. Like you did from Ohio. Like I will from this city that chews immigrants like me. Gabriel's story unfolded in fragments over those early months. Born in a cramped Queens apartment to Ecuadorian parents who'd fled cartel shadows. Raised bilingual in a world that prized assimilation over authenticity. Dad worked construction till his back gave. Mom cleaned offices, whispering stories of Quito's mountains to keep us dreaming. He'd come out at 20, met with quiet acceptance but louder silence. Love withheld, not in hate, but in fear of a country that deports dreams. That's why the slap hit me too. Seeing you take it. It was like watching my own invisibility in the mirror. Empathy swelled, mingling with love. We were mirrors, fractured but reflecting light. That night, back home, we slow danced in the living room to Coltrane vinyls, bodies swaying to saxophones that wept and soared. No words, just presence, his head on my shoulder, my arms anchoring us against the spin. The lawsuit escalated mid-fall, leaves carpeting Central Park like confetti for a parade we never wanted. Victor's team leaked affidavits. Hale used his position to coerce Ruiz into a relationship post-incident. Lies, venomous and viral. Twitter, X, whatever, erupted. Hale heartbreak trending, split between defenders decrying homophobia and skeptics painting me as the villain in a Me Too fashion twist. Gabriel bore the brunt. At design meetups, eyes lingered, whispers followed. Is it true? A fellow artist cornered him at a Brooklyn gallery opening. He handled it with grace. Private life, public lies. But I saw the toll in shadowed eyes, unfinished sketches. One rainy Tuesday, it boiled over. We'd planned a low-key anniversary, 6 months since the slap, the spark. But as I unlocked the door, voices raised, Gabriel on the phone, pacing. No, Mom, it's not like that. He's not using me. A pause, then softer. I know you worry. After Pablo. Pablo. The ex, a graphic designer who'd ghosted after a green card sham soured. I pried gently once. Gabriel waved it off. Now, hearing the hurt, I froze in the foyer. He hung up, spotting me. Eavesdropping. Overhearing. I stepped closer, rain dripping from my coat. Pablo. Aside, deflating him. Old wound. He promised forever, then bolted when immigration called his bluff. Mom thinks you're the same. Flashy savior with an exit strategy. The accusation stung, echoing my own fears. Am I? Be honest. He crossed arms, vulnerability cracking his armor. Sometimes. The penthouse, the drivers, it feels like a set. Like I'm acting in your redemption arc. Gut punch. This isn't a story, Gabriel. It's us. Is it? His voice rose, echoing off walls that suddenly felt too vast. You fired Victor for me, but kept it quiet. Relaunched for inclusivity, but it's still your name on the door. What if Hale Hart succeeds? Do I become the pretty muse, footnotes in your legend? Words failed. Instead, I pulled out the scarf from my pocket, the one from our first coffee, now frayed from Carrie's. It's always been this. No empire. Just the man who saw you first. He took it, fingers tracing stitches, tears welling. I hate this. The doubt. The what-ifs. We collapsed onto the couch, holding tight as thunder rolled. That vulnerability forged deeper, confessions spilling, my terror of losing control, his of being erased. By midnight, plans crystallized, joint therapy, transparent designs credited to us both, a vow to dismantle the penthouse facade for a shared space in Brooklyn, grounded. Winter blanketed the city in frost, mirroring our thaw. Hale Hart's launch loomed, a pop-up in Chelsea Market, intimate, raw. But Victor's shadow lengthened. His deposition demanded Gabriel testify, painting our love as coercion. The night before court, we walked the high line, snow dusting rails like powdered sugar. Whatever happens tomorrow, I said, breath fogging air, I choose you. He stopped, pulling me under a canopy of bare branches. And I choose truth. His kiss was fierce, sealing promises against the cold. Court was a circus. Cameras flashing outside the federal building in Lower Manhattan, reporters shouting, "Mr. Hale, is it true?" Inside, the air was sterile, judgmental. Victor testified first, smug in an ill-fitting suit. He provoked me, flaunted his lifestyle, then used Ruiz to sabotage. Lies. My turn came, voice steady. That slap was hate. I hid my identity to understand my own stores, not to entrap anyone. Gabriel saved me that day, not as an employee, but as a man with courage I envied. Then Gabriel. He took the stand, eyes meeting mine across the room. Christian didn't coerce. He revealed. Slowly, messily, because trust is hard when the world's waiting to slap you down. His words hung, a testament. Love is an empire. It's showing up, bruises and all. The judge dismissed the claims, lack of evidence, clear malice. Victor slunk away, disgraced, his career a casualty of his own bigotry. Outside, media swarmed, but we walked hand in hand through the throng, Gabriel's head high. "We won," I murmured. "No," he said, squeezing my hand. "We survived." Spring unfurled in New York like a hesitant debutante. Cherry blossoms tentative against concrete. The air thick with possibility and exhaust. Hale Hart's pop-up had been a triumph. Lines snaking around Chelsea Market. Queer youth trying on pieces that fit more than bodies. Activists toasting with mocktails to a brand reborn from scandal. Gabriel's designs stole the show. Asymmetrical jackets with inner linings printed in affirmations like, "You are enough." Scarves woven with threads of recycled protest banners. Critics raved. Hale's Heart were fashion heels. But success amplified scrutiny. Paparazzi tailed our Brooklyn brownstone, the one we'd bought together. Cozy chaos of exposed brick and Gabriel's easel in the corner. Christian Hale's humble abode. From penthouse to power couple, headlines cooed, but undertones whispered opportunism. Gabriel fielded it better than I. His Instagram, once sketches and street art, now brimmed with behind the scenes. Us measuring fabric, laughing over coffee stains, humanizing the myth. Yet, under the bloom, roots tangled. My past resurfaced like weeds after rain. A letter arrived, forwarded from the old Ohio address. My mother's handwriting, shaky on the envelope. Inside, clipped apologies. "I've changed, son." Church groups been praying. And a plea to visit Dad's grave. Estrangement's a slow poison. 10 years since her final choose. Us or that life. Now, post-scandal, regrets currency. I showed Gabriel over breakfast. Avocado toast crumbling under butter knives. "What do you think?" He read silently, brow furrowing. "It's real, or wants to be, but you're not obligated." I know, but doubt flickered. Redemption arcs tempt, especially when building one with him. Maybe closure? Only if it's for you. His hand covered mine, steady, not performance. We tabled it, diving into summer prep. Hale Hart's first full collection, debuting at Fashion Week. Gabriel as co-creative director, my insistence, his reluctance yielding to partnership. Late nights in the studio, surrounded by mood boards of Hudson sunsets and Soho grit. Our synergy sparked innovation. But friction brewed too. Creative clashes where my boardroom instincts clashed with his intuitive strokes. "You're overthinking," he'd say, erasing my precise lines for fluid chaos. "Fashion's emotion, not equations. And you're romanticizing." I'd counter, frustration flaring. "We can't afford flops." One such night, after a particularly heated debate over color palettes, his vibrant ochres versus my muted taupes, the dam broke. Studio lights harsh, fabric bolts toppled like fallen soldiers. "This is why I hid." I snapped, voice echoing off concrete floors. "Control keeps the chaos out. You make me lose it." Gabriel recoiled, charcoal-smudged hands bawling. "Lose it? Or face it? You've got walls higher than this skyline, Christian." The empire was excuse. This is fear. Silence stretched, accusatory. He grabbed his jacket. "I'm walking. Call when you're ready to build, not command." The door's slam reverberated, leaving me amid sketches that now mocked. Our intertwined initials blurred like tears. I paced, ghosts crowding. Ohio fields where I'd first kissed a boy behind the barn, only to be outed and ostracized. Boardrooms where innovative masked too gay. Gabriel was right. Control was cage, not armor. Dawn found me at the High Line again, that ribbon of green threading urban veins. He was there, sketchpad open, capturing a jogger's stride. No surprise, he knew my haunts like maps. Sorry, I started, sitting beside him. Bench cool under us, city awakening. Me too. He closed the pad. Pushed too hard. But damn it. I see you. The kid from the trailer. The man who built beauty from broken. Let me in all the way. Vulnerability's currency. I nodded, throat tight. The letter. I'll go. With you if you'll come. His smile dawned slow. Deal. Ohio in June was a different America. Cornfields whispering under vast skies. Humidity clinging like regret. We flew into Columbus, rented a nondescript sedan, drove the backroads to Millersburg. Gabriel navigated via phone, his presence a tether. Breathe. He'd murmur at stoplights, hand on my knee. Mom waited on the porch of the sagging ranch house, older than memory, hair silvered, eyes wary. Christian, hug stiff, scented with lavender and loss. Diana, I replied, formality a shield. Gabriel hung back, respectful, but she spotted him. And this is? My partner, Gabriel. Pride edged my voice. She nodded, thawing fractionally. Come in. Pie's cooling. The afternoon unfolded in fits, small talk skirting trenches, Dad's photos on the mantel a silent judge. Gabriel bridged gaps, asking about her quilting circle, drawing parallels to his designs. Threads binding stories, he said, and she softened, sharing scraps from travels never taken. Dinner cracked the facade. Over meatloaf and green beans. Comfort food laced with memory. She set down her fork. I was wrong. Church said, but love's not sin. Lost you for nothing. Tears tracked wrinkles. Forgive. The word hung, heavy as humid air. Ohio nights chirp with crickets, amplifying heartbeats. Time, I said finally. But yes, starting now. Gabriel's hand under the table grounded me. As we left, porch light fading in the rear view, he squeezed. Proud of you. Back in New York, that forgiveness rippled. I delegated more at Hale Heart, trusting Gabriel's vision, our clashes evolving to collaborations. Fashion Week approached like a storm, tents at Spring Studios buzzing, influencers preening. Our show, Seams of Strength, models diverse in age, body, story, queer elders, trans youth, immigrants like Gabriel. Rehearsals were magic and mayhem, seams splitting, lights flickering, but Gabriel's calm steadied. Backstage, amid steam and safety pins, we'd steal moments, his forehead to mine, whispering, "We've got this." Show night. House packed, flashbulbs popping. As the first model strode, in a coat Gabriel sketched on our first real date, lined with that scarred silk, applause swelled. Reviews next day. Hale and Ruiz, a duo redefining resilience. But euphoria crested, then crashed. Midway through after parties, a familiar face. Victor, uninvited, champagne flute in hand, eyes glassy. Congrats, he slurred, cornering me near the bar. Nice sob story. But we both know. Security escorted him out, but damage lingered. Gabriel overheard, face paling. How'd he get in? Sympathy invite, probably. I pulled him aside. Rooftop terrace overlooking the Hudson, city lights a glittering apology. He's poison, but we're antidote. Not if he sues again. Worry etched him. Or leaks more. Then we face it. I cupped his face. Echoes of that gala alcove. Together. He leaned in, breath mingling. Promise. The kiss sealed it, soft, sure, against skyline size. Summer deepened, our rhythms sinking. Mornings sketching, afternoons fittings, evenings walks where hands swung free, unapologetic. Ohio's thaw inspired a capsule line, rural-inspired, durable fabrics for dreamers in flyover states. Mom even mailed quilt squares, integrated into linings. Yet, conflict simmered subtly. Gabriel's family visited, his sister Sophia, sharp-tongued and protective, eyeing our life with city cynicism. Fancy, but is it real? She grilled over empanadas. It is, he defended, but seeds of doubt sprouted. Late one night, post-dinner, He confessed. She worries I'm losing roots. This world, glamour, galas, it's not me. Not us, I corrected, heart sinking. We ground it. Brooklyn, your art. But expanding. Paris shows, Tokyo buyers. He paced our bedroom, moonlight striping floors. What if success erodes us? Like it almost did you. Fears echo. Then we choose. Always. He stopped, pulling me close. I choose you. But let's anchor. Vacation, no work. Just us. We escaped to the Berkshires, Massachusetts hills rolling green under August sun. A cabin by a lake. No Wi-Fi, just loons calling, fireflies winking. Days hiking trails, scented pine. Nights by the dock, stars carpet overhead. One evening, as dusk painted water gold, Gabriel sketched me. Pencil whispering paper, capturing laugh lines earned hard. You're beautiful, he said, not flattery, fact. So are you. I traced his jaw. This, us, is the empire that matters. Lakeside talks unearthed more. His fear of paternal echoes. Dad's silence mirroring my mom's initial chill. My dread of complacency, love curdling to routine. We vowed rituals, weekly unplugged dates, annual Ohio-Ecuador pilgrimages. Return brought clarity. Hale Heart thrived, but we scaled smart. Pop-ups in heartland towns, scholarships for young designers like Gabriel once was. Victor faded, a footnote in trade mags. Disgraced manager's downfall. By autumn's turn, leaves aflame, we stood on our brownstone stoop, hands linked. Ready for whatever? I asked. Always. His grin, boyish and bold. In America's churning heart, we'd forged not just fashion, but family, from slap to seam, betrayal to bond. Fall's palette deepened, crimson maples bleeding into evergreens. New York's pulse quickening toward holidays laced with commerce and nostalgia. Hale Heart rode the wave. Holiday capsules flying off shelves, from inclusive ugly sweaters to velvet scarves whispering home for the holidays in embroidered script. Gabriel's touch everywhere, subtle, soulful, turning profit to purpose. But prosperity birthed new tempests. I resisted, but strain showed. Sleepless nights pouring ledgers, snapping at fittings. Gabriel noticed, of course, his empathy a radar for my shadows. You're spiraling, he said one crisp morning as we jogged the promenade. East River glittering below Brooklyn Bridge. Breath puffing clouds, footsteps sinking. Protecting what we built. I dodged a puddle, metaphor for the mess. By breaking, he halted, hands on hips. This isn't Ohio, Christian, or the slap. Let me help. Pride bristled. You are. Designs, vision. More. His eyes pierced. Strategy. I'm not just the artist. The offer humbled. That week, we restructured. Gabriel on exec calls, his fresh lens spotting synergies I'd missed, like partnering with immigrant seamstresses co-ops, cutting costs ethically. Vanguard backed off, embarrassed by exposés on their sweatshop ties. Gratitude deepened intimacy. Thanksgiving approached, our first joint family mashup. Mom flew in, tentative bridges mending over pumpkin pie. Gabriel's parents video called from Queens, Sophia translating jokes. Dad's gruff not approval enough. Laughter filled the brownstone. Stories swapped, from Ecuadorian festivals to Ohio fairs, weaving tapestries of us. Post-feast, as dishes soaked, Mom pulled me aside. He's good for you. Steady where I wasn't. Tears pricked. Learning from you. Her hug, warmer now. Keep choosing love. Winter's grip tightened, snow blanketing stoops like fresh starts. Hale Heart's Yuletide Gala, smaller, at a Harlem community center, honored unsung heroes. Tailors who'd mended more than hems, activists stitching protests into banners. Gabriel emceed, charisma lighting the room, toasting to seams that bind, not divide. But midway, a ghost, my ex, Landon, uninvited, champagne sipping near the tree. Model pretty, ambition sharper, our split messy, him hawking tales to rags. Christian, he purred, close enough for cologne to curdle. Missed the spotlight? Or just the arm candy? Fury simmered. Out. Now. He smirked. Tell your boy. Empires eat pretty things. Gabriel, overhearing, tensed beside me. Later, in the coat room, coat hooks rattling. Who? Past mistake. I deflated. Landon used me for clout, left when it soured. His jaw clenched. And Victor, the bored patterns? Defensive flared. Not you. Never. But doubt creeps. Vulnerability cracked him. What if I'm next? The muse discarded? Panic clawed. No. I framed his face. You're the foundation. We left early, snow falling soft, hailing a cab to wander Midtown lights. Windows aglow with displays. Our scarves in Bergdorf's, a quiet win. Remember our first walk? I asked, hand in his glove. Hudson cold, you spilling secrets. He smiled faintly. Felt like flying. Still does. At Rockefeller Center, skaters twirling below the tree, we joined. Awkward glides, laughter bubbling as we clutched rails. One spin, he whispered, I trust you, but scare me sometimes. Fair. Resolution hardened. No more ghosts. Full disclosure from now. The pact held through January's chill. Therapy tandem. Unpacking Landon's echo, Victor's venom. February bloomed early. Valentine's at the rooftop where I'd proposed. Now strung with lanterns, catered simply. Tacos, that scarf as napkin. But March cracked open old fissures. Mom's health dipped. Flu turning pneumonia, Ohio calling. I flew solo first. Gabriel buried in spring prototypes. Hospital beeps haunted, her frail hand in mine. Don't let fear win, she rasped. Like I did. I won't. Promise sealed as she rallied, discharged to home care. Return brought confession. She asked about marriage. Gabriel's eyes lit. Said yes. Waiting for perfect. Tease, but truth simmered. Spring Fashion Week Redux. Our sophomore show, Roots and Rise. Runway pulsed with heritage, Ecuadorian weaves, Ohio ginghams, models carrying heirlooms. Critics wept, buyers clamored. Backstage, post-bow, Gabriel pulled me into a utility closet, ironic echo of hidden beginnings. Proud, he murmured, kiss salt-laced. Yet, high on acclaim, low blow landed. Vanguard sued for design infringement. Baseless, retaliatory, dredging slap-era dirt. Media frenzy reignited. Hail heart. Hero or hypocrite? Board panicked, but we stood firm. Press conference, hands clasped at podium. This isn't about us. It's about creators bullied silent. Gabriel's statement, art's stolen when voices are. We fight for all threads. Public rallied, petitions, celebrity endorsements. Vanguard folded settlement, a win Pyrrhic but potent. Summer solstice found us at Fire Island Pines, Gay Haven, dunes whispering freedoms. Beach bonfires crackled, friends toasting our saga. One night, waves lapping, Gabriel traced sand initials, C&G Eternal. Marry me proper? I asked. Ring now, simple platinum, engraved with scarf state. Yes. Laughter, tears, salt. Fall circled back, wedding whispers. Small, Brooklyn courthouse, then rooftop reception, skyline witness. Vows raw. I choose your scars, your strengths. Rings exchanged, cheers erupted. Mom teared. Sophia hooped. Friends toasted, to empires of two. Post-honeymoon, quiet Quebec drives, maple syrup mornings. Hail heart, globalized ethically. Pop-ups in Quito, scholarships in Millersburg. Victor? Rumors of retail exile, a footnote. Years blurred. Adoptions considered, designs enduring. The slap? Distant thunder, lesson etched. In America's weave, flawed, fierce, weed-threaded love, unbreakable. Human, heroic, ours.